and a system was put in place. But the killings, attacks on Igbo at any slight or no provocation, historically, only decided to be 300. So around that time, it became more concerning to the point that when the likes of Kaduna Ezeugu, who was born and raised in northern Nigeria, never even been to the eastern part of Nigeria. Even when he joined the army, he signed up as a northerner. But he was of eastern part parent, okay? Kaduna Ezeugu and their group in the military then, when you still had educated, supposedly patriotic few in your military who actually believe in the idea of Nigeria. They thought they were saving us. They were saving me and you from what is now our own destiny. A country divided with so much hatred over nothing. That's what they thought they were doing. They didn't know that their action was in fact going to lead to a program where millions of people are going to die. They saw through that tribal, ethnic bigotry in high places, taking root and spreading fast. And to them, we need to stop these lunatics. That was their own mistake that changed the course of history generally and finally. So what happened? The head of what do you call it? Ethnic hateful politics, Amadu Bello Sardauna, was killed. And that coup did not succeed. The man that then moved and mobilized the then available leftover military that are not loyal, that were not loyal to the coupists, Aguiyi Ironsi, the man who led the leftover Nigerian army to stop the coup, ended up being blamed for what happened after. And what did Ironsi do? After stopping the coup, they arrested the coupists, some of them. They killed some. So by the time they picked all these coupists, they discovered that majority of them are from the south. Yorubas, Igbos, Ijos, Ishekiris, and all that, including some few northerners too, Middle Beltans. These were those behind it. But they had to make it an Igbo coup when the man that stopped the coup failed to prosecute the arrested coupists. Remember the genesis, that we have no idea where the hatred against the Igbos started from. But from record, when they started killing Igbos, like for real, making them a target, the earliest recorded one is 1944 in Kano. Aguiyi Ironsi didn't prosecute. They expected Aguiyi Ironsi. And who were they? These were other junior officers. Muritala Muhammad, Yakubu Gowon, Buhari, and few of them like that. I can't remember all their names. They were young officers. The northern officers, they were so pained that they have killed their leader, because Sardauna was the man who orchestrated majority of them's entrance into the military and the quota system rapid promotions that they got as well. Sardauna was like their god. He died. Ironsi won't prosecute the arrested coupists. He won't kill them. Then Ironsi now made one final unforgivable mistake. It's a mistake. To change history. Wow. Ironsi cancelled the regional system of government. And brought what he called the unitary system of government under one military rule. 6 months after that, Muritala and other northern military officers, they led another coup. Ironsi was killed. So were other soldiers. And when they did all of that, Their intention was to go back to northern Nigeria. In fact, they actually ran back to northern Nigeria. They were expecting war. Yeah, they were expecting war. They just killed the Rosi, killed some Igbos. They went into the barracks. They killed Igbo officers. They marched Igbo officers out of barracks, their family members, everything. They shot and killed them. When they finished all of that, you remember Lagos was the capital of Nigeria then. They flew back to north. They ran away. They were expecting and waiting for war. That was where America came in. That was where Britain came in. Britain said, they were so ready. They wanted to break away from Nigeria. They don't want to have anything to do with Nigeria anymore. Let us go. We are not interested anymore. They have, you know what I mean? Like, it was a very, very 1960s, 60s in Africa. That is when the history of Africa that is happening today was rewritten. The destiny you are witnessing today, 60s of Africa, Nigeria took his own shots. I mean, look at us. So then they brought them back and said, no, you can't do that too. Okay? What happened right now is that you have killed a lot of people and all that. Okay? And in fact, it was even said that among the coupists, they felt like there's a part of the history that said that too. Okay? They said the coupists then, because Awolowo was already in prison in Calabar. Okay? And Calabar will end up falling under Eastern Nigeria, is falling under Eastern Nigeria. They said the coupists had it in mind that they will clean the bigotry, the corruption, all of that. They will clean that. And they were going to break Awolowo out of prison and make him president. There's no real verification for that. I know a lot of people have repeated that and all that, okay? But there's none, because throughout the time they carried out all their coup. Their coup was really successful until the last minute when they said, until last minute, it was almost successful. There was never an attempt to break Awolowo out of prison by the coupists. Okay? There was no time to break him out. And that was why when Awolowo was released, Ojukwu was the military governor of Eastern Nigeria. And that was before the war. That was after Gowon had become the head of state. So how did Gowon become head of state? At the age of 28 or 29, he became the head of state of Nigeria. Because then, majority of this Muritala and the rest of them, okay, they said Gowon by then was the highest ranking officer among them. They were young. They were so young. They were not older. The oldest among them was probably maybe 33, 34. They were young guys. So they had all this written out for Gowon. And this is now where the story of which Gowon became a genocidist came on. So immediately Gowon became the president, the military head of state. So the conversation then was like, okay, the country should heal. And the country should find means of going back to the old system. But somehow, it was time to consolidate power, Joe. We are not sharing this power again. That's not how it's going to be. And in fact, there's no regional system anymore. So what we are going to do is, we're going to break everything to states and all that. So they had this planned, okay? But the same attack on Igbos, the Southerners continued to go, and they were calling on Ojukwu, their own military governor, after July 1966. Ojukwu was appointed the military head of state for Eastern Nigeria. So they were calling on him to come to their rescue. It got to a stage, Ojukwu was asking Igbos to return back to the east. But it wasn't really a thing then. Then this conversation about if they are not going to go back to regional system, like, you know what I mean? Like, then the eastern part of Nigeria will either go for autonomy or a referendum. But they conducted referendum in Eastern Nigeria. They conducted referendum in all this, the place you call Niger Delta today. The name Biafra was given by a man from the same Niger Delta. The place they call Niger Delta today. It was all Eastern Nigeria. They all voted that they wanted Biafra. They wanted an autonomous region. You won't believe it. Nigerians didn't even conduct referendum for independence to ask Nigerians and people inside that space if they wanted a country called Nigeria and they want independence. No. It was just political argument. We want it. They will go to London, Lancaster House in London, go and argue, go back to Nigeria, continue their own business there, go back to London, go and seek for more power, so that power to do this and do that. They will come to London. That was how they got independence for Nigeria. There was never any fight for independence per se, except for few that they actually sent to jail and all that. Here you get. They conducted the referendum in that part of Nigeria. Ojukwu, who was the head of that region at the time, then had no choice but to go back and discuss that with Gowon. Listen, this is what my people are discussing, and this is what we are trying to do to protect the people of Igbo land and Igbo origin in the land that they can feel safe. In this space called Nigeria, we won't want to be part of this unitary system. Our people said they don't want to be part of it. And we would love to start the conversation around that. But the conversation took them. It was like gentleman conversation, like, okay, what do we do to this whole problem? What can we do? And all that. Baba, they went to Ghana, Aburi, where they invited other Africans, some Nigerians as well. Like, they all went there. Representatives of Biafra, representatives of Nigeria, other West African and other African representatives, they were there in Aburi for over a week. They were discussing the issue of Biafra and Nigeria. Gowon, at the end of the whole deliberation, Gowon agreed to a resolution that they believe will be a form of a confederation. The eastern part of Nigeria will still be part of Nigeria, but it will be autonomous. Okay? It will have its own everything. Defense, currency, stuff like that. But they will still be part of Nigeria where any shared interest, like area of security, area of other things like that, okay, can be sort of mutually agreed. And they kind of opened bottles of wines. They shared wines because it was sort of like, this is it. This sort of protects the Igbos. And it will also protect Nigeria from sliding into civil war. I wasn't born then. And this is what I learned from that history, ladies and gentlemen. When they got back to Nigeria, a gentleman agreement, resolution that was supposed to be binding, Ojukwu had a copy, Gowon had a copy. So Gowon returned back to Nigeria as head of state. By then, Igbos have already started moving down east. Like, you could tell around, there was like people were moving, selling their houses, selling wherever they can sell, park wherever they can park. They were moving down east. In the middle of that transitioning that conversation, when Gowon got back to Nigeria, met with supposed his backers, this jihadist Muritala and co. They rebuffed him. In fact, they threatened that they will kill him. That's what we heard. They told him that they will kill him if he did not hear that agreement right there in their presence. That day, Muritala personally threatened him like, I will kill you myself. Muritala was like, for those who actually knew him, they said it was this brutal, soulless animal. I mean, if you ask people who are from today's Delta State, where Muritala killed hundreds of unarmed civilians who thought the war had ended. And they came out with white handkerchiefs to welcome the Nigerian soldiers who have now managed to now cross the river to their side. And Muritala ordered the men and the women and children to be separated. Then male children and men, they were put together and they were shot and slaughtered right there on the spot. That was who Muritala was. And that's what he did. That's what he later did when the war started, the genocide. So Gowon was more or less like, okay, I'll do it. They tore the agreement. And on the radio, Ojukwu heard the news that Aburi Accord is no longer binding on Nigeria. Nigeria government will pursue any effort made by the Eastern Nigeria to secede from it was the first person to use the word secession. Ojukwu left Aburi, hoping that they are agreeing on a confederation, which is so similar to the regional system as well, right? But when the first person to use the word secession was Yakubu Gowon. And it was an announcement on the TV, on the radio, that the Nigeria will protect every land, territorial integrity of Nigeria, including the people of Eastern Nigeria. And immediately, he called Ojukwu a rebel. They were both in the Nigerian army. They were both soldiers. He called Ojukwu a rebel right there. And that was the beginning of what later led to the starvation to death of over 5 million people. So when Yakubu Gowon, who is so old now, met with Kolu, in the last 15 years, or let me say in the last 10 years, since when things began to go south this way, this same Yakubu Gowon, who believed he fought to keep the Igbos part of Nigeria for as a bigger country, as we are good together and all that nonsense. A genocidist. Olori Buruku turned their Olori Buruku old man turned to gospel worshippers for Nigeria. He is now the one organizing national prayer for Nigeria to work. Nigeria will work. Nigeria will be great. They are killing his people in Plateau State. He can't do PIM. Do you understand that? They are only dusty. Well, what can he say? If the crippled Maradona is witnessing the same violation and invasion of his own people in the same Niger State where he carved for himself, waiting genocidists go on would do. So he met with Kolu and he told Kolu that, listen, don't listen to all your criticizers. All these people criticizing you, they criticize me too. When I was fighting the Biafran war, people were criticizing me that I wasn't doing it. I wasn't going fast enough. I wasn't attacking them. I wasn't killing them. Something like that. Sure, you get like I wasn't doing enough. But at the end of the day, I succeeded. The man said he succeeded. Then he came out of the room. He said this to the media. Maybe you have time to listen. These are your heroes present. The heroes who shaped the world that you are living now. The heroes, they tell you, respect your elders. But why do you might respect you your body now? Like what?
Well, I think you wouldn't believe it, but this is my first visit to Mr. President since the inauguration. But I was there at the inauguration to wish him well and all success. And if you remembered how busy he was after that, visitors, members of government, all various personalities. So it was not possible for me to be able to see him up to the time that I had to travel abroad. But from abroad, he was able to ring me on my birthday, I suppose, after that interesting report, social media report that I was dead. And and when I came back, of course, made a number of efforts, but unfortunately I think because of his busy program, it was not possible for me to see him. But luckily enough, this time, he's able to give me an opportunity to see him and to discuss various matters, especially the issue of the ECOWAS problem at the moment, which I think need to be resolved. And being the surviving leader or founding fathers of the ECOWAS, I think we had to discuss some of his plan in order to see what can be done to bring the matter under control. So this is what has brought me here, and we had a very interesting meeting. And I'm sure some of you have read, I'm told, some media report that I refused to attend ECOWAS press conference, isn't it? So is it you who gave that report? Who did that? Well, then, and trying to give the impression, yes, it is me who was probably trying to, trying to sort of sabotage, if I'm in that ECOWAS. No, that is not the case. I think there was a mixed communication somewhere, and but I think it gave the opportunity for Mr. President then to call me, and so that we can discuss. And what I was to do at that ECOWAS meeting was part of the discussion that we had today. So that has been done and solved. And I hope that we can probably be able to have that message done later on today at the ECOWAS headquarters, probably about 5 o'clock. I'm sure they will let you know.
Okay, sir. Well, maybe with regards to what is happening with them, what is your call on Nigerians? How things are?
Well, I was telling him, I said, no leader no Nigerian leader that can get there and will not have, all the, all the report, all that is being said, about him. But certainly there is no doubt from all that at least one hears and one sees on the various media, etc. I think the government is trying their best to deal with the various problems of the country, but with Nigerians, don't you worry, you can get criticized. I think people out there, they know better than what you know there. But I think all that one can say is that we've got to Nigerians have to give the president time to get things really done, and it is too early to sort of say yes, that absolute result, perfect result, would be achieved now. So that is my opinion. At least I know. I think if I remembered, I was told that I was fighting the war. I was too slow, and probably Nigeria cannot make it, and that we should not seek for discussion. And well, did we do it or not? They probably do not know the problem in there on the ground. And so there we are.
Thank you very much.
All the best. Thank you.
Could you tell that he's almost like off, if he's completely not, but he's given Tinubu gave him assignment over ECOWAS. He could barely put together his words anymore. Okay? He himself is like completely gone. Okay? And these are the people who are advising Tinubu. But he remembered very well The only thing he could remember in his 9 years of being Nigeria president, 9 years, right? All he could remember was how he said he fought the war. I can remember that some people were saying we were too slow when we were fighting the war, that maybe Nigeria would not make it. But did we do it? Did we? Did we do it? That is the only pride he has. And he's been, in the last 10 years, as far as I can remember, championing prayer for Nigeria. He was the one who declared no winner, no vanquish. And that is why genocidists were rewarded. Some of them, if we even died, they died, like some would say, they died somehow like disgracefully. The same Muritala was killed like a mad dog. You know, when you put down a mad dog, you can't even put down euthanize a mad dog that way. He was killed like a worthless piece of shit that he was. But what did Nigeria do? He's a hero. Your hero's passed. They even make money for him. They put his name on their airports. Put his name on their currency. A murderer. And that's exactly the generation this criminal also came from. But look at them. You need to be patient with Tinubu, he said. Be patient. Give him time. He's working everything there. With everything on. I want fossils. So every time I see his face, honestly, I just feel so angry. That is the guy behind what all of us are now facing today. Okay? Those are the people who are behind the propaganda of one Nigeria that was never won. These are the people who saw through the death of millions of people that could still be alive, that could have contributed greatly to humanity. This bunch of Olori Brukus that never really had anything but misery and then poverty, backwardness. They wanted all of us to be inside that contraption and then feed them till the rest of their lives. He's being paid. As he is right there, right? He also never worked in his life. He's like Bokuwari. Okay? They feed him, they clothe him, they pay for his medical care. He gets everything. His children get the same treatments, just like they have willed Nigeria to themselves. So yeah, they are advising them, and I think when are they going to call all of you to come and do national prayer? He's going to be there. Same as Kuka, Reverend Father Kuka. Is that not his name? Kuka. Or Bishop. No, sorry, Bishop Kuka. Bishop. And they all will be there taking pictures, praying for Nigeria. And Woluri Bubu. But when you know your history very well, you will know that somebody like that is a war criminal. But because he's from Nigeria, he's an elder statesman advising the future criminals that further destroyed Nigeria on how to do it better. So tell your children, Nigeria has no heroes past. Nigeria has living and past criminals who wrote themselves and awarded themselves different kind of titles, okay, while they were ruining the generations' future generations and all that. Anyway, let's go back to the person who threatened your first lady. You want to hear it again? Do you hear Hausa? Mata Tinubu, Kaferino, Yamutu, Yakari, and others, Abi. I will keep putting it on your faces. Right there.
Yanzu shi Tinubu mata ta arniya ce, kuma ko arniya oga ce daga cikin arnas. Ita ma hukuncin da Allah ya ce a kashe ta. Don mi tana cikin shugabannin arna. Fasto. Haka Qur'ani ya magana. Jagorora na kahirci Allah ya ce a kashe su. Jama'a in an ce wance fasto ta me matsayinta? Jagora. In an ce liman me matsayin shi? Jagora. To jagororin kahirci Allah ya ce a kashe su. Ba irin ahlul kitabin da Allah ya ce a aura bane ita matar Tinubu. sannan kuna ganin wanda ya gagara musuluntar da ɗaya da mata ta shekaru a ce kuma muslim ticket ne.
So I will continue to wait for your reactions, because how can they threaten your Remy? And you are saying God will judge them. When did that start? Judge anybody that for any reason call out. Even people just they call out Tinubu and his wife for who they are for real, okay? You want their edge. They want to take Remy's neck, and that's how they do fatwa. They can put a bomb on a child, okay, to go and cuddle her, give her a hug, and explode. You see, I keep saying this, that I don't know about others, but for me, that I don't like these people, that I know they represent so much evil in the land with what they have actually inflicted on people, right? Seriously, I just want the normal justice to happen to them, or natural justice. I don't want vigilante justice. I don't hate people. I told you that I don't even have a space to hate anybody, because I've not even loved enough people in my life that loved me back, which I kind of, so I don't have enough space to hate anyone. If I don't like you, I just know I don't like you. So I still care about some of you. That is why I continue to warn you about the economic danger, the economic pitfalls that these guys are digging for you. Well, you can abuse me, you can call me names and all of that. Nobody is going to threaten anybody I know, and I will think, oh, God will judge them. Let's leave them to God, Mayegu. Just leave them to God. I have seen obedience, and I've seen majority of them, if not all of them. They are passionate for a working country. At a point, right, they won't even care who is giving them a better country, working system. Okay? They want one, but you don't want that. You want a country where you continue to live on hope, expectation over nothing. Where you see them do nothing, and then you kind of still expect that maybe they are doing something they are not telling you that is going to change your life and the rest of that. So people who want something good doesn't mean that they want evil to happen to you. You see the obedience today, we're like, error, we are going to vote for Tinubu in 2027. We will do it again. The Igbos who are telling you today that after all the hatred against them, they are now saying, we are going to follow Tinubu. You see, they do not actually wish this to happen. But because a lot of them knows that this is going to happen. You know something about knowing that something is going to go bad? The worst thing about knowing that something is going to go bad is that not knowing how bad it's going to be. There are people who believe that once Tinubu take charge of your Nigeria, you are going to begin to you are going to begin to miss Bokwari. Those who said that, it's not because they wish that on you or they wish that on themselves. It is because they have an idea that things are really going to go bad, though. Things are going to go bad, though. Even me, where they tell you, the worst part is that I do not know how bad this is going to be, how worse it's going to be. I don't know what is going to be the rock bottom, okay? That's going to be like, it's not going down anymore. This is it. It can't go down. It can't be worse than this. I don't know. That's the worst part. But that doesn't mean that I want that to happen to you. That doesn't mean that I hate you. That doesn't mean that I want you to lose your business or lose your job or even lose your life. I wouldn't want that. But if I know that the actions of these rogues can lead to you losing your life, losing your job, losing your businesses, and all of that, I will speak out. Then you will hate me and say, why are you talking like this? Is it because you don't like this country? Why do you hate this country? Even if you hate the politician, you should not hate your country like this. You are trying to turn it around and make it look like every day I'm wishing you bad. Not that those who are actually doing things, that the consequences of the action is affecting you so terribly. You are not concerned about that per se. You are worried more about me that is actually warning you, making you understand what is going on around you. And then all of a sudden, they started happening. And I'm like, you see what just happened now? See, this one is happening now. Did you see that? And then you turn around again, still not serious with your lives. You sit turn around again and say, are you mocking us? Ni? Are you happy that we are suffering? Ni? No. You are going to suffer more if you continue with that attitude. The attitude of thinking, you can try and turn the table, ignore the obvious, and expect the problem to go away. It won't go away. If I am your therapy, the one that helps you to manage your depression, since this is what they have unleashed on all of us, that still doesn't give you the right to ignore the obvious. I am not the reasons why whatever you are going through right now, why you are going through them. I am not. I might be aware enough that I told you I wanted you to be aware as well. So I raised alarm. You called me an alarmist. Okay? But that is not my fault. Somebody is responsible for that. Someone's actions, some people's actions, their policies and all that, they are making life hell for you. Do you get that? I am aware of that. I may not know to the extreme how deep it is that they are hurting you, but I know they will hurt you. I know they will. And if you then know they are hurting you, or you're angry with me, you are not angry at them. Do you understand that now? So I don't wish this on you at all. The fact that I know it's going to happen. A lot of us don't know how bad it's going to be. There are those that will tell you that it's going to go bad. Things are going to go. It doesn't mean that they do know. In fact, if you probably check them very well, inside of them, they really do not want that to happen. People want a place where they will feel safe. Their children will feel safe. They can indeed thrive to become something, make something for themselves, be useful to themselves, be useful to their family, be useful to their community, be useful to their country. Something. That's what a lot of people just want to see. But then you are watching those who are making that impossible by their actions. Then they are turning around and blaming you. That is because you always wish bad. Why do you always wish bad on your country? Why do you always wish bad? I say, they wish bad. Okay. Do you wish good for Nigeria? Do you? Yes, I always pray for. I wish good for you. They pray for Nigeria. You wish good for Nigeria, and you they support APC. Egbe. Like you don't know that you are mad, Abby. I know. And I've met few mad people. Truly, they say if you see any APC, anybody that says he's a Tinubu, Abi APC supporter in this part of the world, now 3-1 and maybe 3 minutes check. You don't hear that before? 3-1 appointment. I don't even know if that is what it's called. You medical practitioners on this platform, please help us. What is that thing that they say 2-1 or 3-1 appointment with medical doctors? What is that? Under observation every 2 minutes. Every person that says they are smart, they have brain, and they have something to say to defend Tinubu, APC, Egbekegbe, in this part of the world, when they go for medical checkup, they will bring in 3 doctors. 3 doctors. There will be one that will be checking him or her. The other 2, they will be observing him or her from behind. 3-1. One person cannot attend to an APC, Egbekegbe supporter. One person cannot attend to them. You need them because only Geje. Yeah, it can bite you. So they need to begin to watch the behavior. They need to body movement. If they are like twisting, if they are like unsettled and all of that stuff, they can tell you which psychiatric hospital they will take them to. If it is part of this part of the world. Unfortunately, some of them escaped from Nigeria. And they are here. I mean, like, we do have them here. The Abrodian Abobakus. The Abrodian bat idiots. Bat idiots. The Abrodian bat starts. We have them here too. So I don't wish anything on you. So if I hear somebody threatening to kill me or kill you, even if you are one of those who abuse me every evening, I will still stand up and say, they can't kill you. What? Kill you. Waiting we carry, waiting you throw. kí la gbé kílẹ̀ jù àgbé kí ló ti ń pè báàgì spaghetti àgbé we carry sachet of spaghetti. Alaye, you take anger, carry bag of cement, throw am at me. Kí ni mo gbé kí ló jù? Wetin I carry, wetin you dey throw? They threaten somebody to kill them because of what? Because they